too tiresome for you to tell me.
Oh, no, please, go on.
How many are 1 and 1?
1 and 1 make 2.
That's very good. You seem to me to be well along in your studies. You should easily achieve that total doctorate, Miss.
I'm so glad, Professor, especially to have someone like you tell me this.
Let's push on. How many are 2 and 1?
3.
3 and 1?
4.
4 and 1?
5.
5 and 1? 6 and 1?
7.
7 and 1?
8.
7 and 1?
8 again.
Perfect, excellent, 7 and 1.
8 once more.
Very well answered, 7 and 1.
8 again, sometimes 9.
Oh, magnificent. You are magnificent. You are exquisite. There's seriously a new point going on. In addition, you are a past master. Now, let's take a look at subtraction. Tell me, if you are not exhausted, how many are 4 minus 3?
4 minus 3. 4 minus 3.
Yes, I mean to say subtract 3 from 4.
That makes 7.
I'm sorry, miss, but I'm obliged to contradict you. 4 minus 3 does not make 7. This is not addition anymore. We must subtract now.
Yes, Professor.
4 minus 3 makes how many? How many?
4.
That's not it.
3 then.
Not that either. Pardon, I'm sorry. I ought to say that's not it. Excuse me.
4 minus 3. 4 minus 3. But now, doesn't that make 10?
Certainly not, miss. It is not a matter of guessing. You've got to try to think it out. Let's try to deduce it together. Would you like to count?
Yes, Professor. 1, 2, 3.
You know how to count? How far can you count up to?
I can count to infinity.
That's not possible, miss.
Well, let's just say to 16.
That is enough. One must know one's limits. Count them, if you will, please.
1, 2, and after 2 comes 3, then 4.
Stop there, miss. Which number is larger, 3 or 4?
3 or 4. Which is larger? In what sense larger?
Some numbers are larger and others are smaller. In the larger numbers, there are more units than in the small.
Then in the small numbers?
Unless the small numbers have smaller units. If they are very small, then there might be more units in the smaller numbers than in the large. If it is a question of other units.
In that case, can the small numbers be larger than the larger numbers?
Let's not go into that. That would take us much too far. You must simply realize that more than numbers are involved here. There are also magnitudes, totals. There are heaps. Heaps of such things as plums, trucks, skis, prune pits, etc. To facilitate our work, let's merely suppose that we have only equal numbers. And the bigger numbers will be the ones that have the most units.
Ah, so the one with the most is the biggest? Ah, yes, Professor, you are identifying quality and quantity.
Oh, that's too theoretical, Miss, too theoretical. You need to concern yourself with that. Let's make the general conclusions for later. Let's take reason and example from a definite case. We have the number 4 and the number 3, and each has always an equal number of units. Which number will be larger, the smaller or the larger?
Excuse me, Professor. What do you mean by the larger number? Is it the one that's not so small as the other?
That's it, Miss. You've understood me very well.
It's 4 then.
What is 4, larger or smaller than 3?
Smaller. No, larger.
Very good, Miss. And how many units are there between 3 and 4, or between 4 and 3 if you prefer?
There aren't any units, Professor, between 3 and 4. 4 comes immediately after 3. There are no units between 3 and 4.
I've not made myself very well understood. No doubt it is my fault I've not been sufficiently clear.
No, it's my fault.
Look here, Miss. You have 3 matches. And I add 1 more, that makes 4. And I take 1 away, how many are left?
5. If 3 won't make 4, 4 won't make 5.
That's not it. You always have a tendency to add, but one must also be able to subtract too. It is not enough to integrate, you must also be able to disintegrate. That's the way life is. It's progress, philosophy, civilization.
Yes, Professor.
Let us return to our batches. We have 4 of them. You see, there really are 4. And I take one away. How many are left?
I don't know, Professor.
Come now, think! It's not easy, I admit. Nevertheless, you've had the training to make the intellectual effort to arrive at an understanding. So...
I don't get it, Professor. I don't know, Professor.
Let's try another example. Suppose you had 2 noses, and I pulled one of them off. How many would you have then?
None.
What do you mean, none?
It's true that you haven't pulled off any. That's why I have one now. If you had pulled it off, I wouldn't have it anymore.
Let's try another example. Suppose you had only 1 ear.
Yes, and then?
If I gave you another one, how many would you have then?
2.
Good. If I gave you still another ear, how many would you have then?
3 ears.
Good. Now, I take one away. How many remain?
2.
Good. I take away still another ear. How many are left?
2.
No. I take one away. I eat one up. How many are left?
2.
I eat one of them. 1.
2.
1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. No. That's not right. The example, it's not convincing. Listen to me.
Yes, Professor.
You've got
10 fingers.
if you wish perfect skill, you've got 10 fingers. Now, how many would you have if you only had 5 of them?